All right, so we're going to do things a little bit different today. I'm going to do a review, actually, of a trailer. I'm going to watch it, talk about it. I've seen this once before in theaters. I was kind of shocked what's been going on. And there's a reason why it's gotten so much buzz and tread if you've been following this movie in the media. It's called The Hate You Give, and we'll get into kind of the story and some things that may be interesting about it that they can improve on or that are completely false. I don't know. Let's see. All right, let's do it. Oh, yeah.
Something for my godson Elijah and little boy named Corinne.
Man, you coming at me for my music, but you listen to this old stuff.
Old stuff? What? You better get up out of here with all that. Pocket's the truth.
Well, I got a boyfriend.
Yeah, I heard, but it's all good.
Really?
We've been together our whole lives, Star. We got time.
Okay, kind of charming, pretty creepy, and a lot of cheating innuendo. Basically a typical Hollywood movie setup, I'm assuming. And it looks like these two charming young people will be our two leads. So, what's going to happen?
My name is Star. 2 R's. Daddy named me that. Garden Heights. Mama and Daddy says our life is here because our people are here. We got Mr. Rubin's barbecue, Mr. Lewis's barbershop, and Daddy's store. The high school is...
I think it's interesting how they're painting the hood as this utopia, everyone getting along completely. But when you look at the shots, you see bars on the windows, bulletproof glass behind her daddy's counter. Seems like it's not so much of a good place, but they're showing it as a complete utopia and everything going wonderful. So what could possibly go wrong?
Where you go to get jumped, high, or pregnant. We don't go...
Okay, so they just said the high school is a place you go to get junk, get high, or get jumped, get high, or get pregnant, I believe is what they said. So that was interesting that they were kind of honest about the public school system in the inner city, which is interesting, I guess, because if the people living there are living in such a utopia, why is it completely changed when they go to high school? Seems like it would represent what's going on in the community. But I think the solutions, the side note, I guess the solution for this would probably be more policing maybe at the high school, maybe drug sniffing dogs to get rid of the drugs, stuff like that. But of course, I don't think any Democratic politician would enact any of these policies by policing more and making sure the drugs run in the high school, because that would make it look bad, like a prison to school pipeline or whatever. Seems like that would be the solution to that high school. But of course, I doubt they'll talk about that in this trailer. Let's continue.
Go there. Williamson is another world. So when I'm here, I'm Star version 2.
Yo! So she goes to a white high school. I guess there's no drugs, getting pregnant, or getting jumped. I'm assuming. I don't know why that is.
Oh, those kicks are lit.
Basically.
Did you see the stereotypical white guy go through, oh, those shoes are lit. Like he's just so uncool and could not possibly hang with Star, I guess, on a regular basis.
Williamson Star doesn't give anyone a reason to call her ghetto. And I hate myself for doing it. Until the weekend comes around.
I get those goosebumps every time.
What's up? Where you been at? I mean, I don't know. You be hanging with all the white kids.
Okay, that's pretty interesting to me. Okay, so she's talking about how, like, obviously she can't be herself, but she goes back to, I guess, where she's from, the culture, where the high school is and her community, to what they do on the weekend, which is partying at a house, drinking from solo cups, and she's a DJ, which I think is pretty funny. But I wonder so why would the weekend, when you have no rules, when you're hanging out in the exact same community as the people from that high school that she couldn't go to, why at that party all of a sudden would there not be any, getting jumped, drugs, getting pregnant? Why would that only happen at school? It seems like it would probably happen in the same community and culture that's happening, where the people going to the school would come from. But, who knows? I guess that's still just a utopia when you go back to the hood and party in a house party.
Yeah, when you're not around, when you go down to the side.
Oh, you know what's coming.
Out of the car.
Yo, Star, you okay?
Go back where he told you. Khalil, I'm not playing. Go back where... What did you do?
Okay, so you can kind of see now what this movie is about. A white cop, who I'm assuming is going to be a total racist, shoots this unarmed black kid. And I think it's interesting that Star, and it is like, go back to where he told you to stand. Don't reach into a car that you've been pulled out of. As someone I've been in several movies where I played a police officer. So I did some police training. I went on beats with different cops. We rolled around. And all you have to do, they're taught, obviously, because they deal with people that are actual criminals, actual killers that kill people all the time. And that the only reason you go back to your car after you've been told stand here is to drive off and potentially take this girl with him, who knows what their actual relationship would have been, or get a gun. So that's why you're not allowed to reach back anywhere, because these cops literally do get killed in the line of duty protecting innocent people from criminals. That's why you have to obey the rules. And I'm glad they at least showed her being like, no, don't reach back in the car. But I'm assuming that's not going to be talked about. I'm assuming it'll just be another terrible crime on an innocent victim, which obviously would be tragic. It would be tragic for anyone to be killed like this, but it's more factors than just a white person hating a black person, obviously.
Today, Garden Heights is reeling after the shooting of a 17-year-old black teenager by a white police officer.
And there you go. I was right.
We live in a complicated world.
It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Violence, brutality.
So smashing a police car and then getting arrested are somehow the same thing, like an actual crime, and then I'm assuming this guy doing something.
It's the same story, just a different name.
When I attack with impact, it's real tactful. The black cat waited and sat, debated to...
It's best if she don't talk to Father.
...with a packet while seeking...
He's threatening her.
The only true power is the power within...
And every cop is obviously white in every shot so far. Even though in these communities, it's very representative as far as the police force and the community. Most of the people that are police officers in these communities came from these communities themselves. You don't just like, I live in LA now. I don't just apply for a police job in Wyoming. It's not how it works.
It's about more than just color. It's about black people, poor people, everybody at the bottom.
It's about black people, poor people, everyone at the bottom. Does that sound suspiciously like the bourgeois versus the proletariats, just rebranded? I don't think that worked out very well for anybody, playing this identity politics game where you lump people into categories. But let's continue.
I need to speak for him.
You think we could never achieve the inconceivable. We don't belong, but we hear unbelievable.
When you ready to talk, you talk. Don't ever let nobody make you be quiet.
Wait, what's she gonna? What? So you throw up a black power fist. She needs to talk about something. What was the solution? Would the solution be to follow requests and orders when given to them by an officer in uniform when you're being pulled over for something? Or is it that we all need to do what? What's the solution? Do you want all the police officers off the street? Do you want nothing bad to happen or no mistakes be made in the most high pressure situation imaginable, policing a community? That's never going to happen. So give me one solution, Star. What are you going to say is the solution to said problems? Obviously, any bad police officer, I want to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law and be completely thrown off the force and never be able to do anything ever again. But 99% of the time, that's not the case.
I ain't named you Star by accident.
The hate you give. All right. See you guys. Did you enjoy that video? Of course you enjoyed that video. So now you need to become a premium member to the Rebel. That way you have first access to Pure Hollywood and the entire Rebel lineup.